consciousness is being fixed into how his consciousness is fixed into the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is not at all scared and frightened from any of the people present in the battlefield, although he knows that he might have been killed by Indra. By now, he is very much assured that he is going to be killed by Indra. And we can see the previous verses. In the previous verses, we can, in this chapter, we saw that how everybody from the demons group, they just left Vritrasura on the battlefield. And only the Vritrasur is there who is representing the demons here and fighting against the demigods with so much courage, and he's so brave. Then Indra, he was so astonished and shocked that what is going on with Vritrasura, because Vritrasura is a demon, is in the body of the demon, but still he is talking like some kind of sage who has so much faith and devotion for Lord Hari. In actuality, if we see that we, all of us, whether we are in the body of a human being or in a body of a Rakshasa, the actual of ourself that comes in the life when we face provoking situations. It says that, you are what you are when you face the provoking situation in a humble way and with so much faith on Krishna. So Vritrasura is a great example for devotees. Of course, he is a great example for demons, but for devotees also, he's a very great example, because he is showing us that although what level of difficulties we may face in our life, how we react in those situations where we are being crushed by others and we are being pressed by others, and even at the cost of our life, we can still come up and we can still show that how much faith we have in Krishna. And that's why I think the life of Vritrasura is landed up in the pages of Srimad Bhagvatam, because of his faith and devotion for Lord Hari. In the later chapters of this canto, we will see that how Vritrasura, he was Maharaj Chitraketu, and how he lamented over the death of his only son. And because of that, he got enlightened by Angira Rishi and Narad Muni, and how he became such a nice devotee of the Lord. But because of some aparadh towards Mother Parvati, he fell down again. So the life of the devotee is completely secured with Vritrasura example. We can see, even if we can go into the lower species of if we fell down into the lower species, then also our devotion will be saved by Krishna, will be protected by Krishna. As Krishna mentioned in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that my devotee will not perish, Arjuna. When Arjuna asked the question that what happened to that soul who will not be able to make to the spiritual world and also get disconnected with the material opulences, then Krishna said that my devotee never get perish. Whatever a devotee earn by devotion, by his unflinching devotional service, that will remain with him forever. So Vritrasura is a perfect example. So whatever devotional service we are doing in this world right now, then it's we should understand that nothing is going to go waste. Although when we get into touch with our relatives or friends who are very materially engrossed, they usually tell us how we are wasting our life by giving so much time in bhakti, by chanting, by reading, and by following the four regulative principles. But that person who has full faith, that devotee who has so full faith in Krishna and keep continuing in the path of devotional service and keep following this path under the guidance of the spiritual master, along with the association of all the devotees, then that person will definitely, like Vritrasura, although he is in the body of demon, he fell down because of the curse given by Mother Parvati. So Mother Parvati, we can see she is Mahamaya herself, and the ropes of Mahamaya is so strong, and we are under the controls of these three gunas in this material world. Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and we all are working like puppets under the ropes, but we still think that we are doing prakriti kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasa ahankar vimudatma kartayam iti manyate. We think that we are performing everything. We forget that actually Mahamaya is controlling everything. So what to talk about Vritrasura or Chitraketu, who got the curse directly from Mother Parvati. But Mother Parvati, she is so merciful that she also blessed him that he is going to get a glorious death. And therefore, we are here today, even after so many years. And we are discussing about Vritrasura's glorious death. So Vritrasura, so in Srimad Bhagvatam, whatever we are reading, whether whether the stories we are reading related to the devotees, or whether we are really reading directly the pastimes of Krishna, we should always remember that this Srimad Bhagvatam, these are considered to be the limbs of Lord Hari, limbs of Lord Hari, as stated in Padma Puran, that these 12 cantos are limbs of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So two cantos, first two cantos are the feet, and third and fourth cantos are the thighs, and then fifth canto is his navel, and sixth canto is his chest, and 7 and 8 cantos arms, and ninth canto is his throat, 10th is his face, and 10th is his face, and 11th is his forehead, and 12th is his head. So that's explained in Padma Puran. So it is very important to understand whatever we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is not different from Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should take everything very seriously, because anything discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam is kind of giving us the message of how we lead our life in devotional service. Because when one of the questions asked by the sages headed by Shaunaka Rishi in the first canto in chapter 1 was that when Lord Krishna left for his abode, who was the person under whose shelter all this religion went? And then Shukdev Sutta Goswami is answering that Srimad Bhagavatam, how this book is not different from Krishna, and how Shukdev Goswami, whatever he is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj at the time of his death, is very, very important. So, and we should take it very, very seriously. If we see that we also have 7 days in our life, from Saturday to Sunday, right? So those 7 days Parikshit Maharaj also had, but Parikshit Maharaj took those 7 days very seriously, and he kept listening, hearing on Srimad Bhagavatam from his spiritual master day and night, without even eating and sleeping and doing any of the material things. So we cannot do that much, because we don't want to imitate the Bhagavatas, but we should try to follow whatever regulative principles has been given to us by our acharyas, and we should try to chant sincerely, and we should try to observe the Madhav Tithis like Ekadashi, Janmashtami, and all those things, and try slowly we should try to progress in our bhakti life. And that's what it is very, very important. So Vritrasura, although he was a demon, he had so much faith on Lord Krishna's protection, and that Lord Krishna will protect him eternally. So sometimes we feel like when we ask for the protection from Krishna, we can see in the later verses that how Vritrasura will be killed by Indra. But anyone can ask question that how Vritrasura has been protected by Lord Hari, because Lord Sri Krishna, because he was killed ultimately he was killed. But in fact, what happened, Lord meant protect our soul, which is our real identity. We think that, when we ask Krishna for help, then Krishna will protect our body. So we need to understand, and what Vritrasur is also explaining in this verse or in this chapter to all of us, that this material body is a temporary arrangement. So when we have this temporary arrangement of this material body, we should understand that we are going to leave this material body today or tomorrow, because we are in this material world, which is dukhalim ashashvatam, and there are 4 miseries which will be permanent all the time. So whenever we ask Krishna, then we should be asking Krishna for the permanent solution of all these problems. And the permanent solution is knowing ourselves, our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is that, what's the relationship? Jivare Swarup Hoy Krishna Nete Das, that we are the eternal servant of Krishna. So we can, and whosoever just understand this fact that we are actually the eternal servant of Krishna. And no matter what happened in this material world, in this temporary material world, we're going to get away one day, whether it's our family members, whether time will take us away from them, or maybe they all will be just washed away with the passage of time. So we should just try to aspire for the permanent things in our life, or the permanent solution for this birth, old age, death, disease. The permanent solution is that we understand our relationship and we go back to Krishna. And then Vritrasura, we can see that how much he was engrossed in this knowledge that yes, my body is temporary. And he is mentioning that in the previous verses, that my protection is dependent. Everything is controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nobody can have any say in this material world. So I am not scared. Whatever is going to happen, I am going to accept it. So Vritrasura is giving us the hope that even if we take birth in such families where there is no Krishna Katha, where there is no Hari Kirtan, and even the people are demon around us, but still we can grow as devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. The examples have been given. Why examples have been given of Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj here? Because Prahlad Maharaj, he was also born as a demon, but he was such a great devotee of the Lord, and because of his great faith, Lord Nrsimhadev, he came and he showed that yes, Prahlad had so much faith that in this pillar, Nrsimhadev will come out. And that's what exactly happened. Nrsimhadev helped his devotee Prahlad Maharaj and killed Hiranyakashipu. Do we think that Nrsimhadev was not able to kill Hiranyakashipu while sitting in his loka? Yes, he was very much able, but he came just to show he just came to show that how he keep the words of his devotee. So Lord Sri Hari, Lord Sri Krishna is Bhakta Vatsalya. So he always, and Bhakta Paradhina. So he always and he is always controlled by his devotees. Why? Because devotees have so much love and faith on Lord Sri Hari. And that's why Indra, we can see in this purport, he is getting so amazed that how come even in the body of the demon, he is getting so much faith on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And on the other hand, if we see the life of Lord Indra, he is engaged by Lord and he is aware about the energies of the Lord. He is aware, he is much more knowledgeable if we see from externals than Vritrasura, because Indra is in a body of demigod and he is highly elevated. So nobody, if we can think that sometimes when we discuss these stories, then people think that Indra, he is just any kind of ordinary person. But Indra, the post of Indra is not ordinary. We have to do so many punya karmas to get that exalted position to become the king of heavens. This position has been given to him, obviously by Brahma, but ultimately by Lord Krishna himself. So that king of heaven, Indra, because he had karma mrishta bhakti, he was not a pure devotee like Vritrasura. So we can see the difference that King Indra, he killed the Brahmana before because he was scared of his position, that he is not the demigods. There is a long story behind that. Demigods will not be get benefited and will not be they will not get benefited because the priest, he was chanting the mantras from the other demons group also. So he killed that Brahmana without even considering that I should not be doing this. I am Indra. And then again, the Vritrasura came, and now he is all set to kill Vritrasura. He received Narayan mantra also, Narayan Kavach also. So although he got so much protection, the tangible protection from the Lord, but still he was so scared, and he's fighting. And on the other hand, Vritrasura, who is in demon body, he is such a good devotee, is such a person who is that he is engaged himself in the fighting, and he kept provoking Indra. Okay, come on, Indra, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. I am not scared. Let's fight. Whatever is going to happen, that is controlled by the Supreme Lord. So I am not at all scared. So this faith, this bhakti is the essence of the life of story of Vritrasura, which all of us should try to grasp. At least I want to grasp when I was reading this chapter, that we should grasp that faith which Vritrasura had. And we can see we can see that how Prabhupada on the similar lines, although Prabhupada was a born Vaishnava, he was not in the body of any Rakshasa or demon, but Prabhupada, he was born Vaishnava, and how much faith he had in Krishna, that at the age of 70, when he was comfortably seated in Sridham Vrindavan. So many of us just have urged to go to Vrindavan and sitting there and hearing Hari Katha and Kirtans, names of Radha and Krishna, comfortably sitting there, just chanting. Yamuna river is flowing. Everything is so perfect for Srila Prabhupada also. He was in Radha Damodar temple where Rupa Goswami Samadhi was there. So there was no need for him to come here. But still, he took all the challenges, all the heart attacks, and still he came to the other side of the world where he had no idea of how he's going to survive. But still, in his prayer, when he was in the poem which he's writing in Jaladuta, how he is so confident that whatever is going to happen will be taken care by the Lord himself. So in one of these instances, we can see that Prabhupada is talking with the deity of the Lord, and he's saying that I'm your puppet, make me dance as according to your wish, Krishna. So similarly, we can see that Vritrasura, he is ready to dance as a puppet according to the wish of Krishna. And if we can see, there are so many such examples which teach us how the faith in the Lord is very, very important, or it is the basis for our devotional life. When we look into the 9 stages of devotional service, which is given by Rupa Goswami, and it is also present, I guess, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, how there are 9 stages of devotional service, and the first foundation is Shraddha or faith. although the definition is slightly different from what we are discussing here, because it looks like that Vritasura, he was on the position of bhava, where he felt ecstasy for the Lord. And the Shraddha is the very preliminary stage where we started, where we start understanding, where we start inquiring about the self, about ourselves, who are we, from where we came from. But anyways, it was given the name Shraddha by Rupa Goswami. So Shraddha or faith is very, very important aspect of devotional life or devotional service. So we should try to take the essence of Vritasura's life, that how much faith he had on the process and how much faith he had on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So also, when I was reading, I was contemplating on the purport again, and it as Vritasura was called, so-called demon. So in one of the discussions, I was hearing that we should not judge the book by its cover. What is inside, we should not judge. We should read the book. We should just not judge if the book is not looking very good from outside. We should not think that this book is useless. And similarly, Vritasura, he is such an exalted devotee, and Indra, how amazed he was that Vritasura is giving instructions to Indra. It should have been the other way around, but he was the one who was giving instructions to Indra. Like in Chaitanya, in Chaitanya Charitamrita also we hear one pastime, that how Gadadhar Pandit, Gadadhar Pandit, he went to meet Pundrik Vidyanidhi, and Pundrik Vidyanidhi, he was such an exalted devotee, but because he was sitting with such nice clothing, and he was sitting with so many opulences, he was surrounded by so many opulences around him. So Gadadhar Pandit, he thought, what kind of devotee, in his mind only, he thought, what kind of devotee he is. There are so many opulences around him, and he is just surrounded by so many nice things. Devotee should be a renunciate. So when Mukunda Datta, he just saw that how he is having some doubts, then he started explaining the pastimes. He started discussing the pastimes of the Lord in front of Pundrik Vidyanidhi. And then Pundrik Vidyanidhi, he started getting all the ecstatic symptoms, the tears coming out from his eyes, and hair was standing on his hand, on his arms, on his skin, and he was trembling, and he was just rolling on the ground by hearing the pastimes of Krishna. And then Gadadhar Pandit, who was Radharani himself, realized that how come I was thinking like that for such an exalted Vaishnava. He's such an exalted Vaishnava, and for reversing his aparad, he decided to take initiation from him. And then Pundrik Vidyanidhi gave initiation to Gadadhar Pandit. So Gadadhar Pandit, who is Radharani himself, and Pundrik Vidyanidhi, he was the expansion of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So Radharani again got his spiritual father in this Chaitanya Charit, in Chaitanya Leela also. So we can see that how sometimes even we judge people when we go to the temple. I'm not very, I'm just speaking out of realizations of others, not my realization. But yeah, sometimes we go to the temple and we see that we try to judge people on the basis of their outer behavior, and we think, oh, this is a very neophyte or this is a very uttam adhikari, although we don't know. Unless we don't know how we get to know, we get to know once we start discussing Hari Katha with them, that how much they are deeply engrossed in Hari Katha and how much they talk about Krishna. We get to know about that if the person is a Vaishnava or not. So if a person is just talking about Gramya Katha, that means everything mundane, then we can think, okay, maybe. So it is very important not to judge people or devotees by their outer covering or just, the way they are performing their devotional service. There has to be a reason for everything what we are going through in this life. So maybe we should now not try to judge, and we should be, as devotees, as practicing devotees, being humble and faithful to Krishna and faithful to the process is these are the very important aspects of devotional service, which we all should follow. And when I was reading, I just took out one or two statements which Prabhupada has mentioned regarding dependency on Krishna. So just want to read. Depending on Lord Krishna for one's protection and sustenance is one of the principles of complete surrender to God. Krishna has stated in the Bhagavad Gita that he will protect his surrendered devotees, maintaining what he has and providing what he lacks. So yes, Prabhupada is mentioning here that Krishna has promised his devotees that whatever they have, he's going to maintain, and whatever they lack, he's going to fulfill. So we should be just dependent on Krishna for our protection and sustenance. But sometimes, because we are not on that level, prematurely, we should not try to imitate that we are not having faith on Krishna from our heart, but just to show that I'm a very good devotee. I just try to have, I just try to tell others, okay, this is the adverse situations in my life, but I have so much faith in Krishna. We can take help from other senior Vaishnavas and senior devotees, and should read the pastimes of great devotees like Kunti Maharani, Vritrasura, Prithu Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, Bali Maharaj, and we can understand that how it is, how these people or these devotees, when even Lord was present in the life of Kunti Devi, we see how much sufferings Kunti Devi had to go through. And when we see, then we cannot relate ourselves with Kunti Devi, but we can see that the amount of sufferings she went through, although she was the mother of such exalted Vaishnavas, if we compare with our sufferings, that might be very minimal, because I'm not going to go into the life of Kunti Devi, but I'm sure that all of us know. But still, at the end of the battlefield, Kurukshetra battlefield, she was praying to Krishna to give her more and more difficulties in life, so that Krishna can stay with them, with Pandavas, for longer period of time. So such devotees, they are very inspiring and instructive, as the word came in this verse also, that instructive words. Instructed means the instructions. So Kunti Devi, the instructions of Kunti Devis is very nice in Canto 1 chapter. In Canto 1, I think chapter 8, it is prayers of Kunti Devi. So if we read, then these prayers are very hope-giving, that although so many problems in life, but still she wants more and more problems. Why? Because she wants Krishna to be on her side. So I think I should stop right now. And I will open the floor for if anyone has any questions, and for if I made any kind of mistake due to my limited knowledge, I want to beg for forgiveness. And thank you so much for joining in today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. My Danat Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Such a wonderful class, Mataji. We're so fortunate to have you. And, like Pooja Mataji was mentioning in her in your biography, that you're coming from a family where I know you're connected to Shamikrishi Maharaj. He also comes to a call. So
Mm.
somehow, you know, Krishna was merciful that we have more people coming from Maharaj's family.
Mm.
So really thankful to you for coming here. And I wanted all the devotees to greet. We always greet someone coming first time by we can chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for Mataji, and so she can keep coming. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Hare.
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare. So we connected our prayers, Mataji, with Krishna through the holy name. So you can keep coming here at least once a month, if not too much. But thank you so much for the wonderful class. And I really liked the connections that you made, with the verse. And I was myself wondering, like today when we read, no, like Indra was like, he's saying he's a demon and now he's talking so intelligently.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that Srila Prabhupada always says that, a person who chants the Lord's name, my devotees are very intelligent, who are, they're very intelligent. That's why they become devotees. They have given up on the material world of Dukhalem, Asastakam, and they have come here to chant the Lord's name, connect to Krishna, the superpower, super personality of Godhead. So that sense, how Prabhupada ji said this. Similarly, Indra is saying that, and he realizes because and definitely I've seen that there are a lot of devotees who speak so nicely about Krishna Katha, and I like the point you mentioned about. Um, you were saying something about a Grama Katha, right? I've heard this word. Gramya Katha. So I had not like the mundane talk. It means
Yes.
mundane talk. Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. So yeah, Mataji, like one question is coming to me is that one line was so wonderful to hear that some of us are not coming from all devotee family, parents, everyone, right?
Mm.
And still these stories about how Prahlad Maharaj and others are coming from a family of demons, but still they practice because they heard through the Guru Maharaj about Krishna, and their heart got attracted somehow, because they're in this material whirlpool, but still they want to love Krishna, go back to Krishna, to do everything in connection to Krishna. So like that. So similarly, when we preach in our family, we talk about Krishna. People only take a little bit of it, and they're busy with the Grama Katha.
Mhm.
And sometimes we just wonder that why, like for example, I'm not like boosting about myself, but when I came into the movement, I remember I would not get, like they say, when you're chanting the Lord's name, you should, feel the hair shivering, tears coming from the eyes. So my chanting is not so pure. But I remember one thing when I came into Krishna consciousness very mercifully in the month of December 2008. I attended the Kirtan. I was very, I got like all these goosebumps everywhere. And I felt as if, where am I? What is this? This kind of happiness is aesthetic. It's out of this world. So, but I know everybody doesn't get that feeling, so they're not able to take up the whole process. And they're busy with, okay, they're doing mechanical 3-4 rounds of chanting, but they're busy with the Grama Katha all day or most of the part of the day, So how we can handle the mixed devotee situation?
Mixed devotee?
Yeah, like I was reading in Bhagvatam, there are people who will do some devotional services, but at the same time, they are also not utilizing their hours 24 hours a day, because
Mm.
like chanting is just not 2 hours, it's like 24 hours we have to chant the Lord's name, or in a way do seva, right? But there are people not in that situation.
So,
So,
Mataji, if we
yeah.
see, thank you for your question and your explanation. It's very nice to hear. So, Mataji, if we see that most of the practicing devotees, that's why I keep using the word practicing devotee. When we are practicing devotee, then all these mixture is going to happen. I mean, there is a material circle and there is a spiritual circle. So this material circle and spiritual circle, they intersect in between, and that intersection, the point of intersection is where, we are, our spiritual life and material life, they are both clashing. So practicing means, Mataji, that eventually we are going to get on the stage of bhava, because bhava is the prior, one stage prior to the prema stage, which we all aspire for. But it is not very easy to reach that stage of bhava. So most of us, we have material lives also. We have attachment to material world also. We have kids, we have parents, we have families. So, but as Prabhupada mentioned in so many of his purports, that whatever we do, we should dovetail in the direction of Krishna, as we are doing, and what they say in ISKCON also. We should dovetail everything in the direction of Krishna. That's what we should try to do. But sometimes if, kids ask for movies and sports and all that, so we should not refrain them from doing that, because if they have that kind of desire, we should try to fulfill it so that they can see what they are going towards. They can experience that thing, and then by experiencing that thing, because they can see as examples of their parents that how they are chanting, they are in the movement, they are doing all these things, they slowly and slowly they will come back. And there are so many examples like that. And we should not think that how 24 hours in a day spending for Krishna is a very advanced position, Mataji. Like acharyas used to do, our 6 Goswamis used to do, and others. But in Garastha life, we should try to eventually grow up. And we should not think, okay, I'm not able to do now, let's just leave, because I'm not going to become like Acharya. So as Krishna said, wherever we are in our bhakti, we should just try to progress little bit and try to dovetail all your material attachments in the direction of Krishna. Like, if I love to eat, then offer it to Krishna. If I love to dress up, then people say that dress up for Krishna, but in fact, we are trying to dress up very nicely in the mind that I'm going to look beautiful in the crowd. But this consciousness, it's still not there. But just for the sake of getting this consciousness, if we just think, okay, I'm dressing up for Krishna, but in actuality, I'm dressing up for me, then that is called a pretender. So I should, because I'm not on that stage, so I will think, okay, I'm dressing up for myself. I want to look beautiful in the crowd, but one day it will come that I will only think about Krishna, that I'm going to dress up for Krishna. So be honest with ourselves. Where we are, we should try to just proceed from there. We should not prematurely jump on the position of bhava, and whatever goosebumps we get when we first come into the Krishna conscious movement. These are the things which is not bhava. These are not bhava stage. Because bhava stage is very later. These are the things when the first stage, which I mentioned, Shraddha, we start questioning ourselves. What is this? From where these people are? Why I'm feeling so good? Because first time we start feeding our soul. Sometimes we say kirtan, soul, food for the soul, right? There is caption in Rath Yatras, kirtan, food for soul. So it is actually the food for our soul. So when we start feeding the actual ourselves, then we start feeling good. Okay, what is happening with me? These people, from where these people are from? Oh, I'm getting so much. I'm in so much bliss. I want to go in this same direction. So this is the start of our process. And then we associate with the people, sadhu sangha, and then bhajan kriya comes. And then in bhajan kriya, we get initiated, and then anartha nivritti. Till the time we are going to get the stage of anartha nivritti, we are not going to go to nishtha and ruchi. So these starting symptoms, they are still preliminary symptoms. And you asked that how we deal with the people who just take only little bit and then go ahead. So our duty is to just preach to them. If they are taking whatever they are taking, but Krishna will help them eventually. We can pray for them, and Krishna will eventually help them to come to the stage of Shraddha, and then their journey will also start. So I hope I made some sense, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, definitely you did make. And good, because, like the symptoms you talked about, that is initial thing. Yeah, that is like an attraction to the holy name.
Yes.
But it's not like a bhava stage or something
No.
like that. You're right. Because I used to wonder, sometimes even now when I go to Kirtan, it's not even like cold weather and I get goose pimples hearing the
Yeah.
Kirtan, no? So I
Yeah.
feel that attraction, they're so nicely, they're doing Kirtan,
Yeah.
so nicely they're engrossed in the holy name. So, of course, and, when I was mentioning about the 24 hours, what I meant is like, of course, we cannot imitate just for a child. But like, for example, what happens, like we are trying to chant for 2 hours. So we are with Krishna that time. At least we are trying to train our mind to hear, to engage our ears in hearing the holy name. That's all we're trying to do in those 2 hours.
Yeah.
But what happens is in the other 22 hours, we try to do activities where we're doing for Krishna. So that way, in the sense that, of course, we're, like you said, we're cooking or we're doing groceries.
Yeah.
There's so many things to do, taking care of our health. This body also doesn't belong to us. We have medical, we have to go to medical doctor to take, to look into checkups, yearly, whatever, blood tests, this, that, so many things to do.
Yeah.
But if we are thinking that everything we're doing for Krishna, then we can come to a point where we are, otherwise, we can be engaged in going to a mall, buying like 10 things. This will look good on me, that will look good on me, like shopping and all those things we can do, just waste our time. But if we think that we buy a nice, like a traditional sari, and I want to wear this on a festival, and I want to dance for Krishna, and if we connect that particular material thing,
it's a process, Mataji, and we are all in the boat, and Krishna will help us, our devotees, friends, associate.
Like, so we can say this, right, Mataji? Is this right, that we are like roasted chanas? They cannot be, they cannot be germinated now, because Krishna ne hamare ko pakad liya hai, right?
Yes, you
So
are not going to go away. We are in this right moment. Yes.
Yeah, we are stuck. We are stuck in a good way, and we are happy to be here. And now everything, like, we were dressing for us, like you mentioned in the class. We dress for we don't dress for ourselves. We dress so we dress so that we go to the temple, and Krishna is happy to see us. We are dressed nicely. And of course, in the mundane world, people are dancing with each other. But here, I was so amazed when I saw devotees, they're dancing, facing the deities, dancing to Krishna. So I used to think, why dancing like that? But it was on such a pure level. Otherwise, in the mundane world, people are dancing with each other and doing all those poses they're doing. That is no fun in that. It's all a tension between one person and the other, like that, or showing off, or whatever we may say that. But yes, Mataji, thank you so much for your class. It was really wonderful, and from my heart, I'm saying I'm really looking forward in the month of November. Kartik month is coming. Maybe you can take one more class with us. And I know your days are limited for the Tuesday, Thursday, because you're busy with children and things like that. But thank you so much, Mataji, for coming, and we really appreciate. I'm sure others have some comment question for Mataji. And like I said, Mataji, we have less people coming because one Mataji who comes regularly is in India, and there are others also. Otherwise, we have about 10 participants normally come, but it's just that
no problem.
Some devotees to India. So, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. See you. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Anybody has a question, comments for Mataji? Sorry, I spoke so long.
No, that's fine.
There's normally Partha Prabhu and Manidhar Prabhu. They ask questions. If so, otherwise then we can end the call.
Mataji, you can give me the questions because I have to now go.
Okay.
So you can text me the questions.
No, Mataji, we're closing the call right away. And Vancha Kalpatrubhascha, Kripa Sindhu Evacha, Patitaram Pavane, Anand Koti Vash. Shila Prabhu. Gaurangi Mataji. Beautiful name, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
And thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.